Player Will.
Welcome back, Visions fans. Ready Player Will here. In the wake of the news of Orange's retirement yesterday, I thought this be an opportune time to talk about the future of my own channel. And before I drag this out any longer, no, I'm not quitting content. No, I'm not leaving the game. In fact, I'm actually going to do the opposite. I'm going to be ramping up the content. I've long said I'm going to play this game until I can't play it anymore. JB79 and I both basically agree on that, and that has not changed. And it would take a lot for that to change, quite frankly. But let me just talk through my thoughts here so you can kind of get an idea of not only why I'm doing what I'm doing, but also what to look forward to kind of set a new normal of the cadence of what you can expect coming from the channel. Now, just kind of a quick recap. The purpose of my content, I started off as a content creator, not because I wanted to be a content creator, but I did it for educational purposes. I wanted to make videos that taught people things about game mechanics, whether it was the old damage calculation or the hit rate formulas or how to think about certain interactions with the game of how buffs worked and whatnot. That was always my primary focus. And at the end of the day, I'm a dude with a PowerPoint presentation. It's as simple as that. I don't do this from like an entertainment perspective. It was always just like, let me give you some information I think you need. And so to that end, I wanted to also be a resource that if people had questions in the comments or if they needed to go somewhere to get a specific outlook on something, I could be that person. And also just to raise general awareness of things, where obviously I'm very much tied into the subreddit and all different discords and guild discords, that if I saw certain conversations going a certain way or misinformation being spread, this was the perfect avenue for me to maybe address some of those general observations and raise awareness that something may be right or something might be wrong. That has always been the core purpose, motivation, and function of the channel. It was never about, again, entertainment. It was never about generating clicks. I've still said this to date, in every single video, I have never, ever, ever, ever once said like and subscribe. That those words literally don't come out of my mouth because it's not my goal here as a content creator. And to that end, I always have personally wanted to feel like I was giving the audience something they can't get anywhere else. I really didn't want to do content that someone else was already doing. Because again, that wasn't the purpose of why I do what I do. I want to make stuff that is unique, that people feel like they have to come to me because it's something they hadn't considered or new way of thinking or something that they can learn. And the podcast was kind of a nice change of pace, and that's not stopping. We're still doing the Leoner support every Monday, 9:15. But we did that because we could cover the news updates in a different medium, a different way than maybe some others may have covered it, where maybe they looked at the news release and they just read it off the menu, or however it may be. JB and I didn't want to replicate that. We wanted to put our own spin. So obviously that's how the Leoner support was born in its intended function. So now, what's to come? I mean, virtually, I'm going to attempt to try to take over everything Orange A is no longer doing. And again, the whole purpose why I didn't do it in the first place was because I thought RNJ killed it for what he was doing. Why do I need to read patch notes when he's doing a great job reading patch notes? Why do I need to give a breakdown on the release when he's already doing that? And so again, it didn't align with me personally because he's already doing it. I didn't see inherent value in me also doing it. There's really no purpose to it. But now that he's gone, that obviously is a massive void in some quick hit informational things where, we really don't have a centralized website to say like, go to this. I know there's like .gg websites for other games that you can go and really quickly see tier lists and really quickly see written character reviews and really quickly see certain things. And Wotive doesn't really have that. And so with Orange A leaving, I don't want the fans of the game to suddenly have this huge vacuum where there's nothing that they can really rely on for just like quick casual information anymore. And so I will be taking over the patch release breakdown, that the day that the new patch drops, Orange A would go through and he would recap some of the banners and look at some of the Farplane events. He would look through the shops, see which bundles he thought were good value. I obviously want to do that too, because there is value in doing that. I just never thought that I needed to do it in addition to him. But I am also going to do a quicker news day recap, that this is prior to the patch release, that when we get the actual news drop, I do want to take a couple minutes to go through it. Obviously on the podcast, JB and I cover it very in depth, but I do understand that an hour and 20 minutes is not a conducive way for people to quick hit get their thoughts and information. So I want to add this to the repertoire so that people can come 5 minutes or less, get an idea of what to expect for the week, move on with their day. I do want to talk about, more broad PvP balance changes. JB and I will occasionally cover that in the podcast, but again, an hour and 20 minutes can be difficult for people to go locate that. So I want to speak more broadly to the direction of the game so people get more comfortable with where it's going. I am going to still be doing character reviews, but I am going to be doing two different types of character reviews. One of them is the quick guide. Should be a 5-minute video, not in depth at all. I'm going to list some strengths, some weaknesses, and just like a general thumbs up, thumbs down. And alternatively, I will be doing the in-depth review, which is basically what I'm doing right now. So that's not going to change at all. And that way, at least people can either watch the really in-depth review or they can watch the quick hit one if they just want to pull a character and use them. It's that simple. I also want to keep doing the vision card reviews. I have done these in the past, not super consistently, but Orange was covering that often when those vision cards were coming out. And so I do want to take the time to get back into that cadence that just alongside every character release, I also want to go through the vision card release along with it. I might do pull videos. I personally have never been a big fan of them just because I know it can tend to like scratch the itch of a gambler's addiction, and that, maybe I get lucky on a pull and I inspire 100 people to go blow money to maybe get lucky on a pull too. Ethically, that never necessarily sat right with me, but I'm not counting it out. I might still look into doing it, but if you guys want to see it, I know Orange did it. Again, if I'm emulating some of that content, I'm certainly open to doing it. Again, that just has nothing to do with what the purpose of this channel was. So that's why that one I'm kind of on the fence about. But all of this is done in the context to cover a wider audience, where I know where JB and I typically focus is on like top end min-maxing of things. I do want to, as the game kind of gets into this like new status quo of just everyone kind of taking a breather, not playing as sweaty, do want to speak to a more general audience and not limit myself to purely just talking about high-end player min-maxing things, where certainly that information still applies and it's still true, but I don't necessarily need all my content to be focused around it. And that's really it. That's just a general update of what you can expect. Again, it's a testament to Orange, how good of a job I thought he was doing, that I never thought I needed to do this kind of content because he already had the bases covered. But now that he's gone, I don't want to leave fans hanging. I do still want that information out there in a quick, easy, digestible way to get it, in lieu of other kinds of like websites you can go to. And so look forward to all of that. I am excited to kind of pivot and do some new stuff for the channel, but that's it for now. Spread the news, a lot of exciting things, but thank you for watching, and I will talk to you all soon.